Hey everyone, wanted to do a demo. This is my Kenwood Model 11 Series 3 120 watts per channel receiver made around in 1977, and it's part of the the monster wattage wars. 12-ounce can of Coke or Pepsi. I don't know if you could see that. Look at that. Or if you do like you're a Coke fan, there's a Coke. Alright, this thing I went ahead and went through and replaced the electrolytics and the tantalum capacitors in the power supply and in the amplifier driver board. And I cleaned all the switches and knobs with Deoxit D5 and then fader lube. Replaced all the lamps in it. And I also, the timer knob, these things came out with a plastic coupler, and I think probably 110% of them are in little pieces in the bottom of the unit by now. I replaced it with a aluminum shaft that was that I had cut and drilled and carried on. I went through a pretty good effort to restore that. So,
fellowship trained spine specialists treat the full spectrum of.
Let me just deal with the timer here. Right now, it's a 2-hour timer. The power switch is on, and this thing is in what it's labeled as reset. I don't think is the word I'd used. I maybe would have printed defeat or on or something, but not reset. So basically, it's gonna you could crank it up to 120 minutes. If they're working right, you can turn them back, and they'll crank and count down until they hit the off position, and then they'll turn off. So maximum 2 hours, and then they'll hit the off position. The power switch is currently on, but with the timer is in control of everything until you crank it to reset. Then it's on all the time, and you can control it with the power switch. Alright, without going through all the specs of this thing, it's got a lot of features, and it'll take three different sets of speakers. There's a light dimmer. It's got power meters that'll depending on how the switch is set, will either show the output power or the line level. Alright, it has 3 tone controls: bass, mid, and treble. And you can defeat those also here. There are 2 phono inputs, and there's also 2 tape monitors sources. And then there's all kinds of Dolby stuff here. There's a 400 hertz calibration, I believe. So anyways, I don't want to go through all that, but there's the radio. All the lamps work. I only have the 2 sets of speakers hooked up, but you can see that the signal meter and the tuning, all this stuff works. And the other interesting thing about this that is cool, you hit the Dolby FM switch and just listen to the difference. Off. Pretty cool. Alright, let's see. I got a reel here. Oh, I put that so that's off of that. Phono. That's off the record player. knob. What else do I want to go through? So, 2 sets of headphones, mono muting. There's the 400 hertz. I don't know if I said kilohertz earlier, but it's very cool unit. It does have some scratches here. A couple of them probably by me putting it in, but it's got the it's a wood cabinet. It's not a one piece. It's a full cabinet, but you can see all the some of the light's kind of bad, but the last one I had that was similar to this had it was broken out. There's been no repairs to this. This is actually an original good shape. Easily one of my most favorite receivers, but I can't keep everything. Anyways, if you got any questions or comments, let me know. I appreciate you guys looking and taking the time. Take care, everyone.